Is this going to be a tall tale? Or is this something that actually happened? And I'm going to give you the step-by-steps on what went down with my family and how they stole my car as an 18-year-old going off to college. Let me give you a little background to get it going. Well, first off, my name's Tom, and I wanted to create this channel because over the years I've had some crazy things happen to me with my family, and just crazy things that you wouldn't believe was true. And I would always tell these stories after having a couple drinks at parties and whatnot with my friends, and I would get my friends dying laughing and would always say at the end, you have to write a book or you have to make a video on this, because they're not believable. And I guess the way that I say them and the way that I tell a story, I'm not too bad at it. So I finally, after all these years, thought, you know what, let me try this out. Worst thing that could happen is I fall flat on my face and no one hears them. No harm, no foul. Best case scenario is I can no longer do what I do for a living, and I can make money off of the goddamn sorrow and pain that I've been through throughout my life. So let's start out with that first story, my car being stolen by my parents. When I was 18 years old, I was going to a college, Monmouth University, which was like 30 minutes from my house. I was happy to be going there. And then my two friends, I won't say their names, came up with this great idea to, hey, let's go down to Wilmington, North Carolina, where we can get out of this town and start new and, and have the college experience. I kept on talking about it till I was like, you know what? I'm in, let's do it, And like a lot of things in my life, once I thought about it, I'm like, if we're going to do it, let's do it. So we did it. I was at Monmouth. I got everything transferred down to North Carolina. Got the U-Hauls, everything else. At this time, I was living with my parents, with my two sisters at the house. It's me, my two older sisters, my mom, my dad, and live in New Jersey. And when I went away, I was thinking in my head, like, this will be nice, go away, and then I can come home on the summer times, on, holidays, things like that, and come back and see everyone. So that's what we did. Now, I didn't come from any money at all. In fact, a little bit of poverty. Not just poverty, I want to say some mental illness in my family. Yeah. I'm sure people know this out there, but, the victims. My family, my parents, my sisters are always the victims. Nothing's their fault. Unfortunately, I made it out to where I'm doing okay, but that weighs on you growing up. So at the time, I have a 1989 Bronco 2 stick shift, black out on the outside, red interior, but I paid for that car with my own money because I started working when I was 14, and I loved that car. 4-wheel drive, it was amazing. An amazing car. So I have that car, had it for about a year and a half at that time, and going down to North Carolina, I drive my father's truck. He drives the U-Haul, and then after we get down there and whatnot, he takes his truck home and says, I'm going to bring your car back in 2 weeks when we come to see you. I said, okay, great, thank you guys so much. Not knowing what could have possibly happened within 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks. So, about a week later, I get a call from my parents. Tom, we got some bad news. Okay, what's going on? Your car's done. The transmission went on it. So the transmission went on it? They're like, yeah, Tara was driving it just around the corner and the transmission went on it. So we got rid of it. What? But don't worry, we're going to bring down the Cavalier that we've had in our driveway for a couple of years. The Cavalier. And I was like, yeah, I know that Cavalier. The Cavalier that's been in the corner of my driveway for years, that's all rust. The windows don't work. The radio doesn't work. It didn't turn on at that point. It was just a ridiculous car that was $100 that's been sitting in my driveway. And my dad said, oh, you got whatever was wrong with it fixed, and it's driving right now. They're going to bring it down for me. So they spun it, and this is what they always do. They spun it to where I had to thank them. Like, oh my God, thank you guys so much. I can't believe it. Like, my car broke down and you went ahead and got that fixed for me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Not knowing that the reason they did that was because of what they actually did. So that was 7 days after I got there. They come down with the Cavalier, and they have more news to tell me. That they are also moving down to North Carolina, where I'm going to college. Within a month, they're going to be moving down there. Not only that, they're going to be moving into the townhomes, that complex that I am currently living at. Aren't I so excited? No. My parents are going to be moving across the street from me. I'm 18 years old trying to go to college. And I now have this car because mine broke down. Now my parents are moving down there. So not only does it mean that, but I have nowhere to go back home to on holidays and in the summertime. A couple days after that, I find out my sisters are moving down there. Both of them with their husbands. They're moving down to North Carolina as well. What is happening? This all happens within 2 weeks. Not to mention, when I got down there, I was told, don't worry about getting a job right away, all this, because my parents are going to help me out because my father was getting a settlement from when he got hurt when I was a kid on the job. But that didn't come through. But guess that's not their fault. Not their fault. So all this takes place, right? Let's get back to the story. All this takes place. A shit show of a fucking year. A shit show of a year. My mom got a job where I was getting a job as a waiter. They go, oh, here's this new hire. We call her mom. I said, well, I actually call her mom because that's my mom. It's just it's embarrassing. So I get home that summer. I end up staying at my aunt's house for the summer in a room, sharing a bunk bed with my 9-year-old cousin. No, 7-year-old at the time. He was 7. Yep, I was 18. I got the top bunk. But I really missed my friends, and I just missed being home because wasn't that popular in college to say that first year. So we do this, and we do this, and I'm home, right? I'm at a light going to work, and all of a sudden I realize that at the light in front of me is a Bronco 2. It looks just like mine. And then all of a sudden I look to the right, and there is a green E-America sticker on it. E-America being a skate company. And I said, no, that is my truck. That's my Bronco. Who else in the world has a green E-America sticker to the right? So I start honking at the lady, and I tell her to move the fuck over because... Sorry, I'm driving. Move over because that's my car. I told her, no, pull over. Pull the fuck over. That's my truck. So she's scared, and I felt bad afterwards. And she's like, what's going on? I said, that's my truck. She's like, no, this is mine. I bought it last year. I said, can I ask you a couple questions real fast? I said, please entertain this, please. She said, okay. I said, where did you buy it? She's like, Jimmy Black's right here on First Avenue, Atlantic. I said, okay. I said, when you bought it, was there anything wrong with it? She's like, no. Not with... No. And I said, okay. And I said, how much did you buy it for? She said, like $800. Or no, $1,000. I said, $1,000. I said, okay. So I then look up how much it would cost to fix an entire transmission on that car, which was around $1,000. So in my head, I said, okay, let me get this straight. My parents junked this car, and it just so happened that the guy, Jimmy Black, who I bought it from years ago, he found this truck again, and then he put $1,000 into the transmission and fixing it up to sell it for $1,000? No, he didn't. Because nobody would do that. Ever. Nobody would ever do that. So then I'm like, what could have happened? And I said, oh my God. My parents needed money. They sold my truck. And then came up with that ridiculous story that my transmission went on it. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, You sold my car and made me drive around this Chevy Cavalier, which was just a joke. I mean, it was all rust. And then after that summer, this is funny, I get back and my dad's outside waiting for me, and I'm like, what is up with the Cavalier? Why is it shining? It was shining, like sparkles almost. And he's out there with a huge smile on his face. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I know you've been upset about that car with everything that happened, your transmission going, so I painted the Cavalier. You're welcome. And he goes, before I can say anything, he goes, check out the inside. He goes, check out the inside. Okay, open up the doors. He's like, look at where all the metal used to be. And it's bright gold. Gold. This isn't automotive paint. This is spray paint. He spray painted the car. Spray painted the car. And the glimmering things I saw when I first pulled out was because the spray paint, black spray paint he bought for the outside, had something in it where it looked like it had glitter on it. Glitter on it. And then bright gold on the inside. And he's like waiting for me to say thank you. Like, oh, you're the, like, I can't believe you did this. So now if I don't say that, I'm ungrateful. And it's just like, I thought to myself, like, just what, kill me. This is unreal. This is unreal. And, they denied it until finally, like a year ago, they finally admitted it. Yes, we sold your car, Tom. But they needed money. And, my mom and stuff would always do this, which was great. Do you know how much we did for you when you were a child? Diapers, feeding you, all that stuff. And I'm like, it's called being a parent. I didn't make you become a parent. You did. I didn't do that. I'm the youngest. And I'm younger than my youngest sister by like 5 years. I was probably a mistake. Like, you could have stopped at that point. Why did you bring me into this? This psychotic life. That was just the start. Just the start. Because you're going to find out about all these other things that happen. All of these other things that happen. Unreal.